Dad's already out of the truck, waiting on me to come on and get on these coyotes. But I'm going to show y'all right quick. Take just a second, kind of show you what we're about to do, how we're going to walk in here. But if you look in the bottom of the screen on this Onyx map, you'll see the X. That's where we're setting the truck off this old gravel road. And then if you look at that top marker, you can kind of see that's where we located coyotes at last night. And if you look, you'll see those those timber changes, those fingers and draws. Those coyotes were in a draw. And so what we're going to do is walk in and hit this draw where my thumb is, and walk that all the way in to those coyotes. And we should have a crosswind setup when we get there, the way the wind's blowing right now. So that'll be the plan. We're going to try to slip to within a couple hundred yards there of that top icon where the coyotes are, and set up right in that bottom of that draw, looking at those side hills, and where those, you see there's about 3 or 4 fingers that dump in right there where those coyotes are. That'll be the plan. And anyway, let's see what happens. I was kind of showing them on the map what our plan is. We got a pretty good walk. Them coyotes are going to be 700-800 yards from where we're at.
It's a pretty good ways down in there. We could hear them last night, but they were pretty far off. It looked pretty down in that bottom just from the map.
You can tell those fingers, and you can see how this is
that big timber
cut on top. You see those big that big timber in the bottom. Those are going to be the draws, and then some of the fingers that dump down in. But we're going to fall off in that draw, walk down there. Like I said, we've got a crosswind setup right now, so when we get down in there, we should have a good setup, and hopefully we can pull those coyotes right down the draw. We'll try to slip into about 200 yards or so of them and set up. But we're going to head that way. Let's roll. Tell you in a minute. Right here. I'm on him. wind. The wind got us.
I thought he was going to run right up here.
He would have.
I could have shot him right there.
I was on him the whole time. I didn't know how close he was. I thought he was going to run over the... He would have. That swirling wind got us. Yeah. Man, you talk about a perfect setup going bad because of wind.
That one right
Wind
there.
killed us.
Oh, it was setting up to be beautiful. It was beautiful until that wind hit you on the back of the neck. That's not too beautiful. And we were worried about that. We walked in here. The wind was pretty good on top of this hill, and this is pretty hilly in here. It drops off in these little hollows in this little creek, and the whole time we were walking in, wind would be good, then all of a sudden it hit us on the back of the neck. And just before that coyote come in, the wind was good. It was blowing left to right,
crosswind.
I could feel it on the side, and literally probably 15 to 20 seconds before he showed up, I could feel it hitting the back of my neck again. Was blowing right down this hollow. I mean, he was coming in on the string. He got
he
up
was
there.
going to run over the top of the collar.
Yeah,
and
I mean, he
shoot
was
him at 10 yards.
Yeah, he was. Man, I thought it was just going to be cake shot, and he hit that wind. I'm sure y'all can see it on the video. As soon as he did, he wheeled. He ran over on the side of that bank. I literally had a hole about like that. And
Is then or not at all?
Yeah, I was like, man, I might as well try. I had the apexes in. It was probably pushing 70 yards through a hole like that, and I can actually see the tree down there. I was shooting the side. It took half the load, and I'm sure messed the pattern up. But
more often than not, that apex knocks them down, and it gives us a sense of confidence. To,
it's worth a shot. I mean,
well, you either took it then or not take it at all.
oh, he was already gone.
But we're going to show y'all hunts like this simply because it happens. This is a perfect setup, perfect plan. Located coyotes last night, like we told you on the intro. Slip in here to them. Everything's perfect. Got a crosswind setup. Kick the, run through our sound sequence. Everything's going good. Coyotes hard charging the call, and just seconds before we get a swirling wind, and y'all will see that coyote hit that wind, and it's like hitting a brick wall. He hits that wind, wheels, and kills the hunt. So, only thing you can do when that happens is go make another stand and try to keep the wind right as long as you can. I mean, you can't control it. You just do the best you can to make a setup according to the wind, set down with it right, and hope it'll hold out for you till you get the coyote killed. And sometimes it doesn't happen.
Right, and that's a great example of why we get a lot of questions. A lot of people comment on these videos, how should I set up? And usually our number one response is, use the wind in your favor, because if those coyotes smell you, that's exactly what's going to happen. And a lot of times we're hunting woods a heck of a lot thicker than this. This is some pretty woods compared to what we normally hunt. And if you ain't got your wind right, those things, they've circled. I mean, he's probably 50 yards, 40, 50 yards when he wheeled. We'd never see him. We'd never know they were there.
Yeah.
I mean, you just,
you
might think it was a blank stand. You may have caught a coyote and he just smelled you out there before you ever even saw him.
That's a good takeaway for those of you just starting out and wondering why you're not calling up coyotes. If you're not paying attention to that wind, or if you're sitting on stands and you've got swirling winds and you're not calling up coyotes, a lot of time it may not be that you're not calling up coyotes. You just don't know that you're calling them up because your wind is either not right when you sit down, or it's not staying right throughout the stand, and it kills a setup. Had that wind swapped 10, 15 seconds earlier, that coyote would have smelled us prior to being in sight, and we would have never known we'd even called anything up.
Yeah, because the little creek bottom he was running up, it kind of wraps around. And Tori, actually, he was sitting a little higher than me. He saw him at just a few seconds before I did. And like you said, if that wind would have been blowing all the way down through there, he would have wheeled.
10 seconds earlier, we would have never seen
We would have sat here, called for another 10 minutes, be like, I don't know what happened, blank stand, but we actually would have ended up calling in a coyote. So,
and, like we said, we're going to show you this stuff, so maybe you'll pick something up from it. And the takeaway is it sucks every time a good stand goes bad, or you make a stand and it doesn't work. But all you can do is just keep on going to the next stand, whether you make a blank stand or you have a miss or wind screws you up, whatever. It eventually always turns back around. We were talking about it coming in here. You'll hit those lull periods where you're either not calling stuff or you're having mishaps, and then you'll hit a streak where it's just bam, 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 bam. And if y'all keep up with our channel, you know how many we kill consistently. So we're showing you some of the fail stuff that happens too, sometimes out of our control, like the wind setups, but maybe you take something away from it anyway.
And trust us, it pisses us off. Don't get the false sense of confidence just because we're, you know, calm here. It makes us mad when they get away, but it does happen. And like Tori said, we want to show you guys that because, you know, if you hunt coyotes, that's part of it.
Well, it's tempting off camera. It's tempting to just trash this hunt and not show this hunt to you and show you, you know, all the successful kills, and people, you know, get the impression that every time we sit down we kill a coyote. And a lot of times we do kill coyotes. We have a high percentage call up rate, but we have fails like this too, so we're going to show it to you. And some channels never show you how it really happens, so maybe y'all will get something out of it. I know some of you are going to be smart mouth, and we like that too. We'll get a kick out of it. It's entertaining. So y'all come bring the comments on. We like the YouTube comments. Appreciate all of you that are subscribing. If you want to check out the sounds or any of our stuff, you see how close we call them. mfkgamecalls.com is the website. That's where you can pick these sounds up, diaphragms, the apex shells, everything. And then, of course, the channel, MFK Game Calls, the one you're watching right now on YouTube. Appreciate the comments. Appreciate y'all subscribing. We're going to go try to kill one for you this time. And
a little better luck, hopefully.
Maybe add it and show you that the bad can turn to good and vice versa. All right, Jason just walked down here to pick up the collar. We're going to show you, you know, what actually happened. Jason was sitting just right here.
Yeah, I was sitting right there.
We were sitting right there. You see
if you can get this
where we
the way this tree and this tree make a V.
Yeah, and you were sitting on the ground, so you're shooting through that V.
My shot was between this V. I had about a...
We're going to show you what saved this coyote's life.
Right there. Look at all this. Blew out the side of the tree. I mean, if I'd have had just a little bit bigger gap.
Oh, it's full of pellets.
Oh, it was, yeah.
A big section there.
Yeah, that took my load. That was what it was. I came down here and got the call. And I thought I nicked the tree. I thought I hit the side, but
yeah,
that was a tiny gap. He was literally, I mean, I'm looking through here now. It's about a 1 foot gap down there where he was, and this was about a 6-inch gap. Between these,
if y'all kind of look back,
between that V right there,
I'm gonna zoom right through to the stool in the tree, and you'll see just how tight a spot.
Yep.
Get it that same angle.
Yep.
And you see the stool sitting there. And then, of course, that's where I was sitting, and then Jason was sitting at those trees right there. So I knew that was, you know, 70 yards is doable. We do it all the time with the apex, but not when you hit a tree in between.
Yeah, not when half your patterns eat up by a tree.
That's one of those. You know what they say about shit and it happening? That's one of those deals right there.
Yeah, it happened. Oh well, let's go get
all right, on to the next stand.